Good evening and welcome to Season 14 of Next Gen. We're back after the break. This is round number 7 of the Group A1 Tourers. This is from Hockenheim Classic, and it is wet, with the Ford Sierra Cosworth being the weapon of choice for everyone. A notoriously tricky car to drive in very tricky conditions. Should be interesting. We have 12 drivers this week, and they run as follows. Scooby G giving Jamie a bit of a tap up the bum. Scooby G, DY House 7, Line of Greaseby, Whitford 0, NGR Royston, Cam123 Diz, NGR Lee, The Les, Tim 78, Jamie WRX, web user Johnny, and Jack TM53. Synopsis rounding out the 12 drivers tonight. There is Jamie. Well, this particular circuit is the 1982 to 1981, 1982 to 1991 circuit here at the Hockenheim. And we'll go for a lap actually with Jamie. Let's see, going through Brems Curve 3. And down the stadium section with Jamie. We continue on. Good evening, Scooby. How are you, mate? Good to see you. So let's have a look then. On board with Jamie WRX then. Come up to the first corner. This flick 90 right. At Nord curve. Use a bit of X curve. Gotta be careful though in the wet conditions. Down the Master Straight we go as we enter the forest. Towards Brems curve number 1. The first of 3 chicanes in the lap. Go through a slight kink to the right first, then hit the brakes as late as you dare. Got that sign there? Yeah, just before it. Hit the brakes. Remember, don't take the first one. You've got to take the second little entry. It's just a slightly tighter entry point. Get it through there, and you're out again back onto the massive curved straight. If you then head for Brems Curve 2, now Brems Curve 2, definitely a tricky one. So we enter, it's again a flick right into it, but it's flick right into the chicane left right, and it is quick. It's a very quick chicane and easy to guess wrong if you get the wrong line through the initial right hander. Through the Ost curve, which is pretty much flat almost, in the dry that would probably be flat, and then down the back straight we go towards Brems Curve 3, the third of the chicanes, and the only one of the chicanes. To start with the left-hander instead, so this one's going to be left and right. Again, clip the curve on the inside, clip the curve on the right. Get on the power, but don't get too much on because it will spin the car out. Flick left, back onto the straightaway as we head down towards the stadium section. Again, another corner of how late do you dare brake? Not as easy as today's layout. As you can see, no runoff, not really. Through the right hander at A-chip curve into Sachs curve. Again, nice and cambered in, so you take a fair bit of pace into it. Through the flick left right, and then into Opal curve. We've got a bit of traffic ahead of us. Shouldn't hinder Jamie too much into third curve. Just go on the power as early as you can. Onto the main straight. And that's a lap of Hockenheim Classic. At 2:23.1 the time. That was Royston ahead. Wilford set time, DY7 also. As for the championship standings, it's tie at the top. NGR Scooby G currently leads the series on 100 points, followed by Jamie WRX on 92. Jack is on 72 with Whitford 0 on 70. NGR Lee on 66 after winning last time out. The Les is also on 66 points. Obisa Johnny is on 44 with Slidercast 28 on 41. NGR Royston on 38 with Hockenheim Mofo on 37. DY7 is on 32 with Liner Greaseby on 27. NGR Team 78 on 26 with Fraser on 24. Adam Morris has 21 with VP Sir Racelot on 21 as well. Irish Jim 77 has 15 points and Cam123 Diz on 13, joint with the Liam Daly 01. F124YS rounds out the grid with the top 20 on 10 points. Back to the action. Jack hasn't really set a representative time though. There actually comes up into Brems Curve 2. A 2:40.6. Notice what happened to him on his first attempt. Remember, 15-minute qualifying. Quite a long lap around it. Who's Johnny currently? Who's NGR Lee currently second place on the grid at 2:24.6. Still 1.5 away from Jamie WRX. Scooby G at 2:28.8 for the championship leader so far. Isn't what he was looking for, I wouldn't have thought. As he continues to circle around as he enters the stadium section. Through Opal Curve into Sud Curve. Across the line, puts in at 2:24.3 to go second quickest. More times coming, 1.2 then the gap between Jamie and Scooby G. Jack's in the pit, so again, pressure on him to perform. So he's going to get about 2 more laps here if he gets out now. Remember, he's not just the... he's got to get out and do a 2.5 minute lap before he even sets a time, or can even think about it. So immediately he's down to about 4 minutes, probably now 3.5 minutes of time. So yeah, he's got 2 more attempts here and he's got to make them count. As Tim puts in a 2:39.8. Recently, or hopefully recovering well from a little mountain bike accident. Cam123 Diz is obviously joining us tonight. Good to see him back in. He's currently in 9th, so not really getting on well here with the Sierra in the wet. He's normally in the Mercedes. Well, that's a big tyre explosion going on there at Brems Curve 2. I wonder if that was courtesy of Scooby G. I believe that is behind. Is that Scooby G? No, Scooby G's hurt. Who's that in the other green one then? Or is it D White House 7? It is D White House 7, so that could be courtesy of him. As Scooby G drifts it into the Sachs curve. And into the pits with 5 minutes remaining. NGR coming through the quick chicane. So the rakes into the oval curve. Big drift, big spin for NGR almost into the barrier. And back into the pit lane. See, with the weather getting worse and worse, it's not going to help with the times. It's just going to keep getting slower and slower. The Les still hasn't set time either. Let's see how he goes coming towards the end of the stadium section and the lap in the Zippernol car. So there, he's in third gear to try and make sure the car doesn't light the rear wheels up. He comes up towards the line. And he'll be going again. He's only got 2 more potential laps there to do this in. Jack will be starting his lap. 9 degrees B, just come across the line. He's in 7th at the moment. Royston coming to the end of the lap. What's he got in him? To the line he comes. Stays in 6th place. I don't know what Whitford's doing there. He doesn't go any quicker. He stays in 4th place at the moment. And John Lee just coming through Bram's curve 2. There's Scooby G and Jamie WRX. Both of them will get a bit of help with the tow going on here. Although Scooby G electing not to use it with the spray that's coming out. As they enter the A-jip curve. And up towards the Sachs curve. He's going to have 1 more lap at this as Jamie goes absolutely sailing off the Sachs curve. Just a bit too much speed going in. Now we know Scooby G loves his car. It's his favourite car. Back end trying to get away as he comes into Sud curve. Up to the line. Doesn't go any faster. As we know, Jamie's not going to go any faster. He's going to have 1 more attempt though. To try and cement that place he has. And Charlie drifting through the chicane. I believe this will be to start a lap, not to finish one. Yep. Who we got coming through? The White House 7 on his way through. Also line of Greasby. The White House. Oh, the Les came through into 5th place for the Les. D White House 7 can't do anything about it. Line of Greasby has gone off at Opal Curve. That's not ideal. Jack comes across the line. He'll be starting at the back of the grid at the moment. He needs to get a good time in now. He's 17.4 off the pace. And I hate to say this, but that's genuinely not how fast Jack is. Cam's gone playing in a field at Opal Curve. Maybe just Johnny's had enough, as has Tim and the Les and Whitford. Scooby just using some practice starts now. So he's not setting any more times. Jamie coming down towards the A-jip curve. Three seconds off his best lap delta, meaning he's made a mistake somewhere. Wouldn't surprise me if he pulls up on the grid and has a practice start ready for the race. Yeah, he's almost Scandinavian flicking it into Sachs curve. Just to make sure the thing turns in. Qualifying's over though, that's the time done, so anyone who's on the lap at the moment can finish it. It drifts out of Sud curve and across the line for a bit of a laugh. Good driving skill shown there as Lee now comes through the quick chicane into Opal curve and Sud curve. Drifting, and the back end comes out too much and spins towards the pit lane. It'll be third at the moment for NGR Lee. Bit of a cut there from US7, unless it's penalised him. Doesn't look like it has. He comes through Sud curve, tries to plant the throttle on as hard and as early as he can. Back end trying to step out as he comes up towards the line. Doesn't improve. Royston, who's in between that? Jack will be starting at the back of the pack. 9 degrees B, can he improve on that 8th place? He's on a controller, remember, so this really not easy for him. He comes up to the line. Can't improve. Here comes Royston. He can't improve. Cam 123D is currently in 10th place, 12.7 off the pace. So, NGR Jamie WRX will take pole position away from Scooby G. NGR Lee will start third with Whitford 0 on 4th on the grid. The Lairds will be 5th with DY House 7 in 6th. Royston 7th, Line Degrees B 8th, Cam 123 Diz 9th, Wavy's Johnny 10th, Tim 78 is in 11th, and Jack has a lot of work to do from 12th and last on the grid. Bit of news from the pit lane. Whitford 0 saying a minute ago it was already at the point where it was a struggle up the straight. Now, we had this last season in the M1 Pro cars where the rain just made it very hard for the guys just to drive in a straight line, so it could be an interesting race. All the drivers having a bit of a talk in after qualifying. You'll get underway very shortly. So here we go then. Hockenheim Classic. For Sierra Cosworth, it's the Group A1s from NXTGEN, Season 14. Round number 7 is green. Who's got the best getaway? Jamie definitely hasn't, and Scooby G might well get alongside him coming up towards the North Curve, but here comes NGR Lee down the middle of them. That's a heck of a start from NGR Lee as he heads them into North Curve. Jamie holding on to second place there from Scooby G. Bit of ruckus in the background, but everyone through cleanly. Delez into third. That's a great start from him as well. Royston, where's Jack? Jack up into 10th place at the moment. He's past Line Degrees and Wavy's Johnny. Tim 78 with a good start. He's up into 9th. Down to 10th now as Jack passes him. Heading up towards Brems Curve 1 for the first time of 10. And Gianni leads him in. And the Lairs having to fight off Scooby G, or actually trying to overtake Scooby G. Coming out of Brems Curve number 1. And he does it. He's got the move done out of Brems Curve 1. Fantastic little overtake. In the background though, we have DY House 7 now having to defend off Cam, and now Jack. Jack up to 8th place at the moment. Into Brems Curve 2. Oh, DY House 7 into the tyre barrier. There's more chaos behind, in front there. That's NGR Lee. That's Delez. NGR Lee, something monumental has happened. I think NGR Lee's clipped the tyre barrier as well, you know. So now Jamie WRX leads the race from Scooby G. With Zero now third, with Royston in fourth, Cam123D is in fifth, Jack sixth. Webuser Johnny is in seventh, with Tim in eighth. Line Agrees B ninth, DY House 7 in 10th after that massive accident. NGR Lee, I assume, hit the tyre barrier, and delays unfortunately getting caught up in it. What it does now mean though is everyone's a little bit more spread out. There's Webuser Johnny and Tim. Tim off the for a wander at Egypt Curve. But Jamie will lead. Lap number 1, that's an eventful lap, and he took part, and he now leads lap 1 after some sort of incident for NGR Lee. Meanwhile, Tim, there's the last, he spun it. There's NGR Lee behind, he's also spun it. What is going on today? This is absolute carnage. Focus back on the front, Scooby G. That's the end of Brems Curve 2. There's Cam, he's on near the back of NGR Royston. Jack currently in 6th place. I think he's lost a place then to Cam so far. So look, I'm going to have a look to see if I can find what happened to NGR Lee. As the racing continues here at Hockenheim Classic, Royston up into a lofty 4th place. A fantastic effort so far from this man. As Jack goes down the inside of Cam at Brems Curve 3. We have another yellow flag in the background for Brems Curve. That's Tim, he's off at the Ost Curve as well. Meanwhile, Royston, Jack and Cam. Still fighting it out here for 4th place. I'm just having a look at NGR Lee's live stream footage at the moment. That's a bit of an action replay for me. It's coming, oh yes, he's coming very hot. Oh, hello. Very interesting stuff. So from what I found out here, NGR Lee came very hot into Brems Curve 2, hit the tyre wall and spun out. And Les looks like he's done exactly the same thing and followed Lee into it. And ended up hitting Lee and popping himself onto his roof. So, not ideal for him. But Jack right on the tail of Royston, coming down towards Brems Curve 1. And Jack getting the move done. Up into 4th place, as well as Cam. Getting the move done into Brems Curve 1, which is kind of vital for him right now, 4th overall. Royston running slightly wide through Brems Curve 1 actually to allow Cam 1, 2, 3 Ds in there. Well, maybe it's Johnny getting hunted down a little bit by line of Greasby. There's Tim at the back. NGR Lee currently in 11th place. 8 seconds behind the Les at the moment. But will he be catching him? That's the question. DY7 down in 9th place at the moment. Everything just a little bit spread out right now. But this usually happens with this sort of car. It kind of spreads in the mid and should come back together again come the end of the race as Jamie WX goes on to lap number 4 as the leader. Scooby G having a bit of a Larry moment out of Sud Curve. Good. He's being caught rapidly right now by Jack TM53 Synopsis. Jack, the fastest man on the circuit that time around. A 2:22.7, showing what pace he actually had. He was sandbagging all along. 8 tenths quicker than Jamie WX that time around. As they enter Brems Curve 1 for the 4th time tonight. Remember, today is Turbo Monday, so 3 different layouts of Hockenheim being used, this being one of them. Next up, the modern toy cars go around Hockenheim GP. As they enter Brems Curve 2. Meanwhile, maybe Johnny just hasn't quite been caught by Line of Greasby. Line of Greasby is quicker at the moment on circuit. And John Lee now only 3 seconds away from the Les, who spun it at Brems Curve 1. NGR Lee goes through into 10th place then. But back near the front, the battle for 3rd place. This is Whitford 0 and Jack TM53 Synopsis coming down towards the Egypt curve and the stadium section. Jack on the inside now, having a good look. Can he outbrake Whitford into the corner? Yes, he can. Can he get it stopped? Although Whitford very late on the brakes, going around the outside. But I think Jack's just going to have a little edge. Although, around the outside of the Sachs curve doesn't normally work, and it hasn't done this time either. Through the little flick left right chicane we go into Opal curve. Not really an overtaking spot. I think Jack's going to have to wait now until after the Nord curve. He does have a little look up at the inside of Sud curve. Whitford just a little bit wide through that penultimate bend. But onto the main straight they go. Whitford still in front on that podium place by just 3 tenths of a second. Set into the Nord curve for the 5th time. A little bit wide there from Whitford 0. That should allow Jack an opportunity down the straight. A opportunity Jack does not decline. Up into 3rd place then for Jack TM53 Synopsis. And into that podium position. Whitford just making little minor errors at the moment. As they go through Brems Curve 1. Meanwhile, Johnny has Line of Greasby looking down the inside of him as they head up towards Brems Curve 1 for their 5th time. Down the inside, still side by side. Can we Johnny hold it around the outside? He's going to try. No, a little bit of cut by Line of Greasby. He may have to give that back penalty potential. A little bit cheeky, but he's got away with it by the scenes of it. So Line of Greasby up into 7th place. Great move, actually very audacious on the control and down the inside of Brems Curve 1. As they go through Brems Curve 2 now. Johnny getting that horribly wrong. Time he can't really afford to lose. And that's the Les. He's parked up after Nord's curve. That's over. That's game over then. We'll look for another battle. On circuit at the moment. Jamie starting to get away here. 2 seconds up the road from Scooby G. So NGL Lee taking a lot of time out of the White House 7 at the moment. We'll keep an eye on that. He's only 7 seconds away from the top 9 finishing position. First line, Jamie takes us on to lap number 6. Now, I don't get what Les' decision is. He needs to complete 8 laps of this race to get points. He needs to get going if he wants any sort of points in this race. If he doesn't get going, he won't score points. Scooby G into Brem's curve 1. And 1, 2, 3 days. Once my time screen is on the back of Whitford 0. There he is, in shot. Through Brem's curve 1. Down the long right hander now towards Brem's curve 2. Just 6/10 in it now. The gap's slightly open, but Royston 3 seconds behind this battle. So if it all goes awry, he's there to pick up the pieces. Through Brem's curve 2, the fast flick left-right chicane. Through the Ost curve. And Whitford's starting to pull away. He's now got a second on Cam. It's not quite what Cam would have wanted, but not at all displeased at the moment, being 5th overall. There's the White House 7. There's NGRE. As he exits. Turn. D-7, a flash of the lights. Almost like, just don't even bother, go past me. Yes. NGRE goes through to 9th place then. Oh, and NGRE living life a bit dangerously through the Oscar. He's clipped the grass. He's almost gone into the side of the White House 7. That was close quarter racing. And now they're going to go side by side down towards Brem's curve 3. And John Lee currently in front. But will DY House 7 have a look down the inside? He is going to have a look down the inside. Can he brake late enough? And John Lee all over the grass. That's not where you want to be. And he loses that place to DY House 7. On the exit, he goes through Brem's curve number 3. Almost losing the rear end there. He's really struggling tonight with that car. Well, the DY House 7, I don't know what's happened to him. But he's just slowed right up. Maybe a penalty out of Brem's curve 3. Meanwhile, Cam back with Whitford 0 going into Brem's curve 1. Again, can't really stick with him on the exit though. Gap back up to 8 tenths, 9 tenths. NGR Lee. Fairway behind now. He's 21 behind Webster Johnny. I think that's going to be kind of torn order now. With 3.5 laps to go. But Cam can certainly have a look here, and with a 0. On board the bumper car with Cam. Oh, Cam straight lines of chicane. That's not helped him. Just not getting the braking point correct there for Brem's curve 3. And Cam suffers the consequences there. Now, 7 tenths behind Whitford. I hate to say this, but Jack is starting to reel in the leaders. He's only 7 behind Jamie WRX right now, as he heads into oval curve and sud curve. What sort of times is he saying? 226 by Jamie, 226 by Scooby, 225.2 by Jack. That is 1.2 quicker. Well, actually, more like 1.1 quicker than Jamie WRX. He's not going to have enough laps to do it, though. Again, a second clear off Scooby G, time-wise, but he is still 5 behind. I think a mistake from one of the top 2 would be in order here if Jack wants to get any higher. NGLE's brought this gap down to web user Johnny to just 17 seconds right now. And that's just on this lap at the moment. There's Johnny, there's Johnny. Johnny's parked up, that's why. No, he's not, that's someone else. That could be Dave. That's D Whitehouse 7 who's parked up for no apparent reason. Tim's going to come through and get a top 10 position. $16 the gap then between these two. NGLE 6 seconds taken out with Johnny. That's not impossible, that actually. Meanwhile, with Zero still having to defend hard now from Cam 123 Diz. Let's have a look on board. That's what you get on board. Eat my spray, pretty much. As they head into Brems Curve 3 for the 8th time today. A lot of time loss from Cam going through there. Maybe first gear not the ideal gear to go out of. Again, Jack bringing that gap down, 5.4 now. Has he just found some miraculous confidence in the car? It is sensational stuff from the host. As Cam heads into oval curve and sud curve, looking to force an error from Weather Zero, which is looking unlikely right now. On this wet, rainy day at Hockenheim. Meanwhile, the gap at the front is suddenly 0.3 of a second. Jamie having a horrible lap last time around. 228.1. Now he's got Scooby G right on the tail of him, coming out of Brems Curve 1. I wonder what's happened there then. The joy of live streaming. Means I can relive the past. Let us have a look, because that is unusual from Jamie to make a mistake. Meanwhile, Cam is right on the back of Wayford Zero going through Grams. Oh, big collision with the tyre wall for Cam 123 Diz. That settles that battle then for 4th place. I can tell you that much. Let's have a look here then. Down to a second. Yeah, it looks like Jamie's not really done anything wrong. Oh, he did lose it going into the Sachs curve, but nothing major. I think he's just had a really scruffy end of the lap, you know. Last lap on lap number 8. Which allows Scooby G in this position right now to potentially be battling and fighting for this win. Yeah, 2 minute 30 now by Jamie. Jack now only 3.7 behind. So if these guys have another tangle, if they have a tangle and start slowing each other up considerably, Jack can still win this. Oh yes, that is where you're going to lose time. Through the puddles, streaming across the circuit. Jamie's gone wide. Jamie's gone wide going into Brems curve number 1. Scooby G now takes the lead. Scooby G now wide coming through Brems curve 1. And Scooby G almost losing the rear end. Jamie now goes back into the lead. Jack catching in the background. Now they're side by side coming towards Brems curve 2. This is for the lead on this, the final lap of the race. Final time. Up into Brems curve 1. Scooby G now takes the lead again. Round the outside. Jamie trying to go down the inside. That's going to be tight. Oh, and a lovely little switch back on the exit. He's got that. Oh, and Jamie's round. Jamie's round at the Ost curve. Here comes Jack to pick up the pieces. Jack up into second place. Scooby G, if he doesn't spin the car now, will win this race. I don't know if there's a little puddle on the inside of the Ost curve there, where Jamie was trying to overtake Scooby G, or whether there might be a small touch. But Jamie went round. And, oh, Jack's now round. Brems curve 3. Jamie now through, back into second place for him. What a carnage last lap we've had here. Scooby G going through the Sachs curve. Through the flick left right chicane. All he has to do is drive around these 2 corners. The Opal curve, the Sud curve. He's done that, and on the final lap, NGR Scooby G claims the win at Hockenheim Classic. A well-deserved win for him. Jamie WX will claim second place, followed by Jack D53 Synopsis. I believe that's going to be Tim crossing the line for 10th. Withered Zero holds on to 4th place. Good drive by him. Cam 123 Deers will enter 5th place for him. Royston, what a cracking drive he has had. He comes home 6th. A fantastic drive from him. Lionel Greasby on control, and you know, it's a sensational effort by him. 7th place on a controller. Fantastic stuff by him. Johnny coming through the stadium section now. Well, taking the Joker lap by the seams of it on the grass. That's a bit naughty. Yeah, I say you have a long slowdown penalty for that one, because that was very cheeky. But he comes across the line in 8th place. NGR Lee, very well stuck out, my friend. 9th place has been a hard race for him, really. And D Whitehouse 7 will be in 10th place. Let's have a look at Jamie's onboard. Yeah, no contact. Yeah, it looks like there's a puddle on the inside of the Ost curve, and he's clipped it, and he's just gone round. D Whitehouse 7 comes home in 11th, and we're going to be waiting for a half minute because the Laird is not driving around. He's just sat there on the Nord's curve. not doing a lot, to be quite frank. But this man wins here at Hockenheim Classic. A great drive. I mean, he took his chance right at the end. I mean, when I say the racing gets close at the start and the end, I mean, that kind of proves my point. Fantastic stuff by these guys. Always putting on a great show of racing. But provisional, and I say provisional because we don't know if anyone has anything to review, but provisional race results are as follows. Scooby G does take the win, followed by Jamie WRX, Jack TM53 Synopsis in third. Great drive from the back of the pack. Driver of the day today. Whitbird Zero in fourth. Cam123 Diz in fifth. Royston sixth. Liner Greasby seventh. Webuser Johnny eighth. NGLE ninth. Tim 78 in 10th. DY House 7 in 11th. And the Lairs effectively retiring after 4 laps completed. So next up for these guys, when the page loads back up, lovely, will be round number 8 next week at Zolder, top 4 reverse grid, so that should be interesting in open cars. So do join us next week for that one for the Group A1s. Next up is the modern touring cars from Hockenheim GP, as we carry on Turbo Monday today. But so stay tuned for that. That will be around 5-10 minutes time. But from myself and everyone in the Group A1s, thank you all for watching tonight, and enjoy the rest of your evening.